One. Hi, good morning, favored ones. Welcome to Soul Talk. Our guest for today is Alice Cordero. She is the Executive Director and CEO of Tulay sa Pag-Unlad Inc. And she's also the President and CEO of TSPI, Mutual Benefit Association, which is an organization that delivers microfinance and micro insurance products for the benefit of the poor. She has been working in the banking industry for 40 years, and 20 years of those were as Chief Compliance Officer. And she's here now with us in Soul Talk because for the month of April, all our guests are coming from finance. So let's all welcome Alice. Welcome, and I hope that you're okay. How are you?
Good morning, Michelle, and nice to talk to you. My experience is something which I also had no plans. It was, I guess, God's plan that as you serve more people at the end of your term where you have received so much blessings, it is time to give back, to make your life more meaningful and to become more God-centered as you grow the years after you retire from a big organization. So I have gone through 6 banks. Yes, I believe so. And it was really hard work and a lot of learnings from all my bosses and from my colleagues. But this time, after I totally retired from the banking industry, I was invited to join an NGO, a Christian NGO, and the board of trustees are quite inspiring that you cannot say no to them because of their mission vision.
Really beautiful. But right now, what keeps you busy? Is it really just the organization? Because I know there's a lot of work, and I think things are going back to normal right now. Um, what are the things that really takes up most of your time these days?
Okay. Crossing over the pandemic is more of a wake-up call to all of us. While we have been so immersed in our, the normal life, we used to believe it was the normal life. The pandemic has brought us closer to God. It was really a time of reflection, what really is meaningful to you, and what God has given you all these years, your faithful God. It is time really to be grateful and to share your blessings to more who need them most. That is what I see in myself today. So the microfinance organization is very God-centered, and that is what I like most. We are very grateful that the faithful God, despite all these years that TSPI has been in existence for 40 years, while we had challenges, real, some unreal, some man-made, it wasn't God's doing at all. That's what I see, because in everything we did, it was amazing where the results are coming from, and we survived. Today we are on a recovery, on the right path, because we are focused on digitization, because that's the way to better serve our clients. If you give them the kabuhayan loan on time, you give them the records on time, they see how they have progressed, how they have saved, where to bring their earnings, and they become self-sufficient. And then you give them the information of what is happening in the environment, business-wise, economic recovery-wise, etc. But what has been consistent has been our commitment of bringing God to everyone. The transformation framework that we have adopted in the NGO has proven over time, as long as you are God-centered, you believe in what God has given you, you use the resources the right way, then you will succeed regardless whatever comes to you. So the pandemic was it was a big bang for everybody, not only for the less in life. I think regardless where you belong in the economic strata, Everyone was affected, but um, it has been amazing. We had our challenges of clients not paying on time, but it was okay
Yes.
because it was a time to bring them closer to God and really make them feel better that there is a God that is providing them everything as long as you remain grateful to Him because He has always been a faithful God to all of us.
Yeah. And the way you speak, it feels very light and it's very, very inspiring. Um, but I'm surprised that an organization that, provides microfinancing products and microinsurance would be okay that their clients was not able to pay on time during the pandemic, because I know the banking industry was really hit hard sa mga non-performing loans. But in your case, the way you see it, it's an opportunity to bring them closer to God. And it seems that it's also part of the business model to talk about God or to introduce God in some ways to the clients. Am I
You
getting
know,
it right?
coming from big banks, I work for a big foreign bank, um, and a big local banks. It's really different because when you are in a commercial environment, you think about recovering your profits.
Yes.
Period. You have to bring back the losses, recover, and make profits. But in this NGO, because it's a Christian NGO, it's non-stop. Even our board of trustees are serving based on volunteerism. They don't get any allowance, no per diem, nothing. It is really coming from their hearts to really help those. So with the wisdom that they are sharing with us, the way we formulate policies during the pandemic, I'm sorry about that. That's my son who left the room. Uh, there is this language in the NGO, they call it portfolio at risk. That is when the accounts become past due and then you're supposed to recover and collect. But during the pandemic, when most of our clients were really affected because of the economic slowdown, the lockdowns, and
Yeah.
it was very hard to go around because even our own people were refrained from entering barangays and communities. We said it is okay. Why? Because our clients are still true to God. When we give them this kabuhayan loan, it's the livelihood loan. We tell them these are funds coming from God, and we are sure we're giving it to you because we trust you, and you will return it so that more can be blessed and more can share in the resources. So what we did, we introduced a PAR. So it's same acronym, PAR. In the commercial lingo, you call it portfolio at risk. But in our organization, we call it Poverty Alleviation Recovery Healing Program.
Oh,
What was more important to us was to ensure our clients that God is with us. If you are not able to pay now, it is okay because we are still committed to serve you. Because we truly believe, because you are children of God, you will pay back. It is just a matter of time. So that was how we evolved. We developed amendments to our policies to align it with what they are capable of paying, and we did not give up on them. And these people, because they are very God-centered, they come to our meetings regularly, they show up, but they continue to pay even partially. It is more like it is okay not to feel you have less today, but just be God committed, everything will find its place. So now that we are over the 2020 and the 2021, 2022 is bringing us more good news. So we found out that we have three private organizations that has provided funding for specific projects directly related to, we call it now TSPID. D is for Digitize Kabuhayan Loan Program. So we are teaching our clients to be aligned with changes, to be more learning, because our nanays and our tatays who are with us, they are learning digitized business. So they collect for us. We teach them to do online business. They are able to collect bills from other individuals, and they earn in the process. You call it a transaction fee. Last Friday, we were awarded by GCash as a pioneer in the microfinance industry in introducing digitization in our business operation way back 2012. So as early as 2012, we have already tied up with GCash, and GCash's role in the economic recovery, especially for the less, has been more pronounced this pandemic, where you're not allowed to do face-to-face, but we were doing our loan releases and loan collections through GCash. So it is heartwarming to be recognized and to align with organizations that really believe in helping the poor, because they are more important in the lives of everyone, because they are children of God. And if you really look at the economics, they comprise the biggest portion in terms of percentage. And if you bring them up to a better economic level, you can just imagine the impact to our Philippine economy. That is how important they are. More than the big corporations, where they are already very stable, and only a few individuals, I guess, are learning how to be self-sufficient and God-centered. In this economic status, there are more who needs God-centeredness program and livelihood for making them, so that you make them self-sufficient and become more productive members of society. That is how it works.
No, that's really beautiful. And I noticed that you joined this NGO at 2019, right before the pandemic hit. It seems like you were really sent to be placed at the helm during these times. How does that feel?
You know,
Diba? Parang
when I
nanlumo
retired,
ba kayo nung pumasok yung pandemic
when
at
I
biglang
retired from the bank,
nagla-lockdown?
when I retired from the banking industry, I wanted to rest, because my life when I was in the banking industry, it was like hard work and doing a lot of positive changes. And I would sleep 1 or 2 hours just to get programs in place and make things work. So it was really a very, how do you call it? At the end, because of my age, I felt really physically challenged, because you're no longer young. So I said I had to retire. But then there was, I got a call and they told me, would you want to help? Of course, I was like NGO. Will my values fit? I was, this is a Christian NGO. It's different working in the commercial banking industry. So I said I will try. But fortunately, it wasn't hard to embrace their culture, because TSPI has 4 core values: stewardship, servanthood, integrity, excellence. And coming from a Benedictine school, Saint Scholastica, those are also the same values that I learned from Saint Scholastica. I'm a Scholastican. And this year, I accepted to be part of the board of trustees of the association, the alumni association. So things are coming in, and it's really unplanned. It's like what they call a calling, where you feel that you can do more, return more, because God has blessed you all these years. So it's really a time of giving back, giving what God has given you before, and it's really time to share.
Yes.
So that is where I'm coming from today. And my children are all, they're already, how would I should say, um, they are very stable in their own lives. And they are also supporting me, even my husband, on this advocacy of serving the less in society.
Yeah, I
So,
know our society really need more people like you. But
oh, thank you.
it's really just because I'm trying to visualize after 40 years in the banking industry, and then it was, very, very hectic talaga yung schedule, very tight, and you wanted to rest. And then entering an NGO, parang,
Mhm.
yes, it's God-centered, it's the values all aligned, even the culture is also good, di ba? Pasok na pasok yan. And then now you're also the president of your alumni association, so that's also something else.
You have to
Oo.
correct. I have to correct you. I am not the president. There is a president that we have elected among ourselves. I am just a member of
Ah, okay.
the Saint Scholastica Alumni Association. I am a member. I'm
Mm-mm.
part of the board of trustees. I was appointed to be their internal auditor and compliance officer. That's my role. Uh,
Those responsibilities are not that light. If I look at it, nakaka-rest pa ba
mm,
kayo? Where do you get your energy to all these things? Or is it
uh,
really ingrained in you now? This is the time to really share whatever it is that I have and to serve.
you know, I always tell my children, when you are asked to serve, it is a different, it's not like when you want to be employed, you have to earn. But when you are asked to serve, it's a different, um, well, I guess it's a different experience, because you are not there to earn, but you are there to serve others. And see, your reward is different when you are from a commercial environment. I guess the reward was, I was excited before, I'm going to get my bonuses, I'm going to get my promotion, I'm going to get all these benefits. But this time it's different. When I go down on the ground and I meet the people, and you talk to them, and you see the employees and the clients, it's a different level of happiness. That's why I said the happiness is relative, and being grateful for all the blessings that you have received and sharing it. The reward of seeing people grow, the reward of seeing clients become stable, and really you help them become self-sufficient, and uh, telling them to remain God-centered, for them to sustain their lives. It's a different level of happiness that is the kind of reward you're getting. It's no longer having a beautiful car. It's different. It's different because um, I had a very good life in the banking industry, meeting a lot of people. But many of us should be surprised. Those that are now in their retirement age also has that same kind of advocacy to share, probably our wisdom, our knowledge, our experience, how to make a NGO sustainable, and how to serve more or less in life. So it's very interesting, because what I am sharing today and what am I experiencing is very balanced. I share what I have learned from the banks that I have served, but what I am sharing now is more of my time, and the rewards are different. It's when you see people grow, when you mentor people to become better, then you see the fulfillment that you are capable as God has designed you to be. That's a different level. So it's working for NGO is a very interesting exposure to see how God has blessed you, and really attracting you, that you can do more, because God has made you that way. So I look back to where I got my values and I said, I'm so fortunate. I am a Benedictine daughter. With my Benedictine values, I work through life. I am very proud of my family and my husband and my children. But more proud that I am able to serve. That's the
That's
transformation
beautiful.
that has happened.
So that's
Yeah.
what is the one major change that you are aware of, that major change inside of you during this 2-year period wherein you have gone through it and you were serving and seeing the fruits
Mhm.
of what it is
Mhm.
that you're doing? How do you see yourself now? Is there a particular change in the way um, you saw yourself continue to grow despite having retired from the bank?
Well, um, I think I cannot change my work habits because I like learning a lot. I like doing a lot of things. I want things done in accordance to a plan, to a schedule. But what has really changed, I guess, is it has strengthened my Christian values. That is very I would say very prominent now. Probably before, I'm a Roman Catholic. I go to church. So we go to church, you pray, but today it's different. When I go to church, and this is what my children would laugh at me. Before, when we go to church, I go, can we choose the church that has the shortest homily? It's because, you're saying, oh, this is something that I cannot embrace or I cannot comprehend. It's really something that you're not ready to embrace. But when I started working with the NGO, it's different. I started looking for a priest and masses where the homily, even it will take an hour, I don't get bored. That is the transformation. And I listen carefully to the homily. And when I get in the car with my children, I continue sharing it with them. They go, Ma, we just heard that in mass, and then we laugh. So it's really taking the word of God at a deeper level and enjoying the words of God that makes you a better person. So that's the real transformation, I guess, happened to us. And this pandemic, my husband and I, because one of his friends almost had a 50-50 fighting for life, we started a rosary hour. So September, October, November, December, January, March. So that's already um, more than 6 months. And we do it today, every day. It's a daily rosary hour with our friends, and we don't stop. I think that is the powerful message that sends us together. You pray more, God will bless you more and protect you. So it's a prayer of gratefulness that goes within. And you will be surprised with all the challenges that each family was facing. They were all answered prayers.
All
So
the challenges that the families were
yes,
facing were
yes,
answered prayers.
yes, yes.
That's that's a that's a that's the first time I've heard someone say that. Of course, I also believe that because in
Yeah.
every challenge, diba, it's an opportunity to be better or to see something in a better light. But coming
We
from you, could you
yes.
expound on
Well,
that?
okay. Of course, during the pandemic, everyone was so scared about health conditions.
Yes.
So we don't only pray for ourselves, we also pray for our elders. We pray for our children. We pray for our friends. And all those that we have prayed in the rosary hour, you'd be surprised. They are able to recover in the shortest period of time. And it is so um, amazing that that's why we cannot stop. It's like God telling you, you are experiencing what you are praying for. Your prayer intentions are being answered. So the more you have to be grateful. That's why we cannot stop, because the answered prayers of praying for someone who was sick, the mother, uh, the cousin, etc. It's answered prayer. So how will you stop?
Nga naman. Oo nga naman, that's true.
Diba? So that is what is happening. So we keep the daily rosary hour among us, and it's also a form of deepening relationship. Before it was just like an acquaintance. You eat together, you party together, but now there is always this period of reflection, of applying what you want to learn about the other person in the realm of knowing, are you okay, are you in good health, are you experiencing something, and we became more generous. We sometimes when we travel and we see something for our friends in that community, we buy little things and we share it with everyone. So it's a different experience.
Just one question that came into mind. Does it ever does it ever cross your mind na I need to distance myself from this because you're right in the middle. You're praying for things to be okay. You're aware of what's happening with your friends and your other different family friends. Then you have this very generous heart. Was there ever a time that you felt na pahinga muna ako, Lord? Or was it really continuous, the grace that
Oh,
you're experiencing? Because for some
oh,
people, they would get tired with too much giving.
I think when you are faced with requests, financially, spiritually, if you believe in God, and after being exposed to this Christian organization where we pray for, we pray before every meeting and after meeting. We pray, and the prayer goes with reflection of what has transpired and what has been resolved. It's a different way of doing things. And when you say, how can you be tired? That's the big question. How can you be tired when all these years your God never complained and sacrificed his life? That is the Lenten season. We are reminded of what Jesus went through, the physical pain, and God giving up his only son to save us. It's every year that you experience it. But now that I am more exposed to this kind of Christian work, I get a deeper appreciation of what God has done for us. So if he has given his only son to save us, to save mankind, and every year you really learn more about his sacrifices, how can you give up? Because what I'm returning in life, I guess it's just a small part of what God has given up, his only son to save mankind. So that is what is running in my mind. So you cannot stop. And I think the more you give, and that is what my parents tell me and what other people say, the more you give, you cannot quantify it because it's not pure monetary reward. It comes
Yeah.
100-fold. And you will just see that your blessings, they come along naturally, even if you don't ask. It's because the more you give, the more you share, and you think less of yourself, but more of others, then you will realize that you cannot give up. You cannot give up giving and being generous, not only monetary wise, in the whole um, religiously, in kind, if there is monetary contribution you could do, you can. If there is a spiritual guidance that you can share, is something that you would feel good if you really believe that there is a faithful God and you are grateful about it. So I think even if sometimes I'm physically challenged because I am no longer young, I cannot give up because I can see there are more things that I can do. And as I see rewards of accomplishments and people getting better and people getting more served, even if it's physically tiring, traveling. Let's say if you go to, I had to go to Isabela and our branches because we have 120 branches. It's not easy. You wake up 4 o'clock in the morning, you reach the place 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and then you come back at 11 in the evening. But it's okay. That's my wish, and I always tell God, as long as I don't get sick, I will continue serving you. I think that is the deal with God.
Actually,
So,
maganda nga yun na gano'n
diba?
yung way of thinking, and that God is really, you could actually feel God moving through your life. And then that's beautiful. It's, well, of course, for me, I'm exposed to people such as you who really
Mm.
feel the hand of God in their lives. But this is something that should be verbalized more so that more people could also experience this kind of relationship and awareness of God in their lives.
And that's exactly how we are conducting our um, operations. Our field staff, if you meet them, they are so, I guess, young ones, um, everyone in the organization, up to the board of trustees. The faith, the faith in God, the gratefulness in God is really entrenched. So if you believe in that kind of culture and you want to embrace it, you will enjoy working because that is important. You like what you're doing and you try your best to get results. And when the results are really coming up and then your goals are achieved, that is the most rewarding part because you have planned it and you see it coming and everybody is moving at the same direction.
That's really, really great. And but personally, when you look at yourself, what's the most important lesson do you feel that you have experienced that really made you the person you are right now?
Mm, probably growing up with core values also from your family is very important. Where you got your knowledge and exposure in school is very important. So it's really an evolution, and the people that you have worked with is also very important. And now, as you look at you look back and you say, what have I learned from them? And then you say, these people have been very generous in sharing their wisdom and teaching me who I am today. Then you realize that you can also do it like them. So it's also the environment that you are exposed to. And I am just, I guess, very lucky that people I have worked with really had a direct impact to who I am today. So, my family, my mother and my siblings, we are all Roman Catholic, but my father is a Protestant. But even with two different, I guess, religious practices, there is still only one common direction, that is living the way of life with God. So even if you're Roman Catholic, and that is also what's happening in the NGO, we are ecumenical. When I did a study in this TSPI, there are more than 100 ministries that we are working with. So I said, wow, 100 ministries but there is a common ground. Everyone believes in living the life of Christ and being God-centered. So it really doesn't matter what your religious group you belong to, but as long as everybody's God-centered, that keeps you together. So then at this time, what do I realize? What is that power that is upon us that keeps us all together? It's still God. It's still God. That is the one keeping us together. God is the strongest link to all of us because we belong to different ministries. And yet, we have a common goal to be like Him, to be Christ like. And it feels that is the only thing you have to learn. That is the only thing that you have to really embrace. And you will surpass all the challenges. Because life is not easy. You have to balance everything. You are exposed to good and evil. So where do you draw your strength and where do you protect yourself from bad, negative vibrations? As long as you're God-centered, you remain to do what is right. You remain to practice the values of being a Christian. There is no way you will go wrong. That is what I have experienced in life. It's so
Ano,
that's why I said
that's
my
really
God.
beautiful. That's beautifully said.
Anything that you want to learn, and even what we're experiencing today, it's the experiences also you see in the Bible. And then you say history repeats itself, right? Because people make the same mistakes and the same actions that should be done. It's also in the Bible what should be done. So the Bible is really the most powerful, and you don't have to read anything else. Just read the Bible and you'll be surprised. The experience there, the words of wisdom, what to do with it's still there.
Oo nga, you've mentioned your age, yung parang sabi mo ang tagal na, yung parang ang daming blessings sa buhay. It
Yes,
seems
yeah.
like you're in your later part of the years. But, you know, despite that, where do you see yourself going? Are there things that you'd still want to do, things that you'd want to learn?
I think at this time, when you're beyond your beyond what you call the mandatory age and you get your discount card, oh, that is also another blessing. If you are a senior citizen, you are treated well in the Philippines.
Oo,
You
definitely.
get to queue more,
Definitely.
you get your food discount, you get your medicine discount, So then what do you say? Is there something more that you can give in return? And what I'm experiencing really, and what I am doing now is giving everything back in return. But I am surprised it is coming back to me 100-fold. So how can you stop?
So continuous lang. The
Yes,
the the
yes.
giving.
So
You'd still
you
want to give more. That's
and
what
as
you're
you give
saying.
more, you will be surprised. You will be rewarded more. It's very difficult to um, say, is it purely monetary? No, it is a basket full of rewards. It comes in many forms. You gain more friends, you improve your health, your mental condition is much better because you continue to learn and think. So it's the best medicine not to be exposed to being a dementia patient or Alzheimer. And then you uplift the lives of other people. So you have a basket full of blessings, and that is where you will realize you cannot stop because you're receiving something and you have to give it back.
You know, based on what you're sharing right now, it
Mm-hmm.
seems like you also have a different view of what money is and what being rich means. And it seems that it's so tied to the Christian values that
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
really believe in.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mhm.
Could you share something more about that, about being rich, about having financial blessings?
Ah,
Because it's so tied to being spiritual. It's so tied to being Christian.
well, how do I say it? Um, I was raised in a Catholic school, and then I went to UP, where you don't talk about religion, right?
Yes.
But because your foundation is already strong, even where even living in an environment of openness, you still have your core values with you. And then
Definitely.
you work in a banking industry where people have different religious affiliation. So at the end of the day, and then you also meet friends. I said, but working hard goes with, they say, nasa Diyos ang awa, nasa tao ang gawa. Totoo po yun. Nasa Diyos ang awa, nasa tao ang gawa. And to me, that it really is meaningful because I really work hard. I really, like going home like 5 o'clock in the morning was normal for me. Straight.
What time do you go to work?
I start, if there are major concerns, I'm in the office by 7, and then you try to address all the priority items because there are timings that need to be served. And then you have to stay because you're doing international work. That's how then you end up like, I I had to talk to some US regulators like 2 o'clock in the morning because they will talk to you like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So you're 12 hours. So by the time the meeting is done, that's 2 hours, and then by the time you get home, it's like 5 o'clock in the morning. But it was, I wasn't complaining because I enjoyed what I was doing. And when you see the results, when you work hard, then you will really achieve what you want. So um, I think being rich is not only monetary. Enriching your life at an early stage will also make a difference of who you are in the future. So totoo yung kasabihan, walang mahirap sa taong masipag. Kasi hindi naman kami rich. We're
What do you
siguro,
mean?
when you say rich, yung bang rich with luxurious living, I think what we have today is financial stability, which also the marginalized sector will also achieve. Kasi, your financial stability is really relative to your lifestyle.
Yes.
So even if you are probably in terms of money maybe less, but your level of happiness, your relationship with God is so deep. Probably you're even richer than the person who has 4 yachts or a personal plane or helicopter that goes with his life or her life. So it's different what you mean by being rich. Are you rich monetary wise, which is very material, but your relationship with God might have suffered. So you have to have a balance. Fortunately, what I am experiencing now is enriching myself with my relationship with God. And that is also what I feel from my family. We all enjoy that kind of relationship with God. It's very something that you will have to experience. And that is where you will feel that you are rich, not materially, but deepening your relationship with God, I think, is as you grow older, it's very important that you experience that. Did I?
Yes. Yes, of course, of course. What message could you give to others who don't have this kind of relationship with God yet? Kasi it's possible eh, God meets everyone wherever they are,
Mhm.
whatever level they're in.
Mm.
What could you, kasi it seems like in your story, in your life, it it's very anchored in God. It's God-centered, and that's what made you achieve all these goals, continue to give, continue to work, and be happy and at peace with your stability, with all the blessings that He gave. So for others to achieve that kind of life, stable, happy, at peace, it seems like it would make sense naman that they should also have a good, deep relationship with God. Paano kung wala? At how would they
And
start doing that from your point of view?
I think people will have to be exposed to it. Then that is the only time you realize where you want to be. For example, when I started working, I was not as I guess conscious that there was a faithful God the way I feel it today, because I was probably young, and then the environment was not conducive with that kind of lifestyle. But as long as you open yourself and you meet people, if your foundation and core values are very strong, you know what to choose. You can already discern what is right and what is wrong. And I guess if what I can say is, if you always remember what God has done for us all these years, and you choose to do what is right all the time, it is like your key to success and to happiness. You always choose to do what is right because there is no ifs, no buts. But if you challenge yourself and you try and attempt the temptation of doing what is not right, I don't know how you can go to sleep and feel the happiness that you got something out of not doing what is right. But if you choose to do what is right all the time, then you will really feel that you are protected. It's different. You can do a lot of things when you do things right all the time. That is my experience in life. So there is no fear when you do something that is really right and you believe it is right. Then you can really achieve more. So all these years, servanthood is important. Even when I was small, I remember that among us 7 siblings, and I'm the youngest girl, I would enjoy serving my father, making coffee for him, bringing his slippers when he comes home from work, that kind of, it's servanthood. And then I want to make sure that what I do is what the best I can give. So it's the excellence that goes with it. And as long as you believe you know the rules, you know God's will, then what you call is doing things the right way, and there is the integrity that goes with it. So you will not be, it's not hard to do what is right. It is not hard to believe in things what is right. And that will make you sleep at night with a good, clear conscience. So you feel better. You don't get any disturbance in your sleep. You sleep well.
No, that's also very true. I can resonate with what you just said.
Mhm.
And thank you
Mhm.
for verbalizing it. And of course, um, when we get exposed, that's the time we get to choose kung ano ba talaga yung core values natin and what choices we have to make. Oh, tama
Y-
naman yun.
you know, my daughter is, I guess my children are more, at a younger age, more exposed to, like people like you who are more, I think the young people today, and I see it in my children, are more exposed to being with God compared to my generation. For example, Orange and Camille, they have their own activities that they want to serve others. And I don't tell them, you have to do this or that. I can see it coming from them, from their heart. It's because it's also their friends that they get that kind of exposure. So it's important really who you want to grow up with and mature with. So, and I think if you really believe in what you're doing, but do not be self-righteous. That is always something that we have to remember. The priest told us during our Lenten recollection, there are two types of people: the self-righteous, who are probably will no longer want to change because they're self-righteous, or the sinners. So self-righteous and the sinners. But the sinners are those who believe that they can change and they want to grow. So when you attend all this recollection and retreat, that is where you reflect on whom you want to be. So I choose to be a sinner because I want to grow and I want to change. And as you grow and change and doing what is right, you're able to probably expose other people to do the same. And then you will see the effect of consistent, sustainable transformation of each of us at different levels. It depends where you want to be. As in college, you go 101, 102, 103. So,
Levels talaga.
yeah, so I'm really grateful for what is happening with my life, with the family. So it's a balanced life.
Yes. Well, thank you for sharing that. And I'm not surprised that Camille and Orange have their own exposure as well. Being exposed to a mother like you, it's
Thank
only
you.
natural.
Uh,
But
so,
thank you so much for sharing so many wisdom. And this is the perfect episode for our Holy Week. And I'm grateful that you're the one who's
oh,
actually talking about these things, because it's very rare to find a person who's in finance can easily talk about their faith, their values. Um, this is very, very refreshing, and I'm really grateful for the time that you have spent with me here and sharing the things that you know, the things that you
mhm,
believe in.
mhm.
So really appreciate this time. All
Thank
right. So
you. Thank you for allowing me to share my experience. And I hope through this, people will be realizing that God is just waiting for you to realize how important you are to Him. And as long as you believe in Him and you put Him at the center of your family, center of your life, and even your career, there are more blessings that will come along the way, and you just don't know. You'll be surprised. The blessings just multiply as long as you remain faithful, grateful to God.
thank you so much. I won't talk that anymore because that's the best ending line that we could have.
Yes,
But
yeah,
for the favored ones, for those who are watching live and the replay, I hope that you have really, really learned something from this conversation, because I
yes.
know I did. I love this conversation and I love learning from different people. But
Thank
thank you so
you.
much, Alice, for being here. And of course, for the favored ones, remember that you're highly favored and really, really blessed.
Yes,
So let's all maximize the resources and the gifts that God gave us and to serve
yes.
others more. So God bless
Sir,
everyone. I wish you all well.
God bless
God
you,
bless.
Michelle, and
God
thank you for
bless.
this opportunity to share my experience with you and to others.
Thank you rin po. All right, have a great
Salamat po.
day.
Have a great day to everyone. Thank you.